My husband found out I was pregnant, and his face turned cold as he said those heartbreaking words, "That's not my child," before kicking me out of our home that very same night without any mercy. I had no place to stay, so I ended up sleeping in my car in a freezing February parking lot, feeling completely lost and broken. Everything I had built over 6 years of marriage was suddenly taken away from me in just a few hours. But what happened in the following days completely changed my life in ways I could never have imagined. This is a story of betrayal, strength, and ultimate justice. Good day, dear listeners. It's Diana here, once again bringing you another powerful real-life story. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending your valuable time with me on this channel. Please subscribe to the channel right now, hit the like button, and drop a comment below. Tell me which city or country you're watching from so I can see how far my stories are reaching. I truly appreciate every single one of you. My name is Megan Harper, and for 6 full years, I was married to Derek Harper in a quiet, peaceful suburb north of Atlanta. We lived in a beautiful 4-bedroom house, and on the outside our life looked perfect with good jobs and a bright future ahead. But behind closed doors our marriage was slowly dying, and I kept ignoring all the red flags because I truly loved him. People always say you can feel when a marriage is ending, but when you love someone you make excuses for everything. I called those silences stress or tiredness until it finally cost me everything. Derek started taking mysterious phone calls in the garage and became more distant with each passing week. He also began making strange cash withdrawals from our joint account that he could never fully explain. Then he suddenly started asking me repeated questions about my first husband, Thomas, from many years ago. I thought it was just normal curiosity or maybe a bit of jealousy, but I was completely wrong. Those questions were actually part of a much darker plan I couldn't see at that time. I was 8 weeks pregnant when I happily came home with a sweet gift bag containing a future architect onesie and the ultrasound photo. Derek opened the bag, looked at everything, and then said the words that still echo in my head, "That's not my child." He accused me of cheating and demanded I leave the house immediately that same night. By 9 o'clock, I was sitting alone in my car in a Kroger parking lot with tears in my eyes and no clear future. My entire world had collapsed in a single evening. At cold night in the parking lot, I began putting all the pieces together in my mind. Why was Derek so absolutely sure the baby wasn't his without any proof or test? Why had he been so interested in my ex-husband Thomas recently? A small, cold realization started growing inside me that something much bigger was happening. I knew I had to fight back and find the truth. The next morning, I went straight to a very experienced family lawyer named Claire Sutton for urgent help. She immediately told me Derek had no legal right to lock me out of our jointly owned house. We also discovered he had secretly moved $31,000 out of our joint account the same night. Claire started building a strong case against him right away. For the first time, I felt I wasn't completely powerless. While sitting in my car, I searched my first husband Thomas Caldwell's name online for the first time in years. I learned that his tech company had been sold for a huge amount and that he had sadly passed away 5 months earlier. His family and lawyers had been desperately trying to contact me for a long time. Everything started making perfect sense in that moment. My life was about to change dramatically. I spoke with Thomas's sister Rachel and then called his estate lawyer Gordon Reeves in Portland. When Gordon told me the amount Thomas had left me, I was completely shocked and speechless. My first husband had left me his entire fortune of $77 million with one simple condition. I had to appear in person in Portland to complete the paperwork and confirm my identity. This inheritance explained everything Derek had done. Derek's side tried to scare me with anonymous phone calls threatening my career and architect license. I recorded the entire conversation and immediately sent it to my lawyer for strong legal action. We filed harassment motions that put them under serious pressure. They never expected me to fight back so intelligently and quickly. Their threats only made me stronger. With Claire's excellent help, I got a court order freezing the joint account and protecting my rights. I returned to the house with the sheriff to collect all my important belongings safely. Then I flew to Portland, signed all the documents, and secured my future with the inheritance. The first payment of $8 million would arrive soon. I finally started feeling hope again after so much pain. Derek had secretly discovered the inheritance months before and had been planning to remove me from the picture. He wanted me gone before the lawyers could contact me so he could keep the money for himself. My pregnancy announcement forced him to act quickly, and that became his biggest mistake. He thought he could destroy me easily, but he completely underestimated my strength. Now it was time for me to fight back hard. Derek's mother, Linda, came to visit me pretending to be kind and caring with homemade cookies. She talked about family, the baby, and second chances, but I saw through her manipulation. I confronted her directly about the secret calls and research on Thomas's estate. Her sweet mask completely dropped, and her true cold nature appeared. I stood my ground and told her the answer was no. During the deposition, all the hidden evidence finally came out into the open. Derek's internet searches, emails, and phone records proved he had planned everything carefully. He knew about the inheritance before throwing me out, but still accused me wrongly. He looked defeated when the truth was presented clearly in front of him. The walls he built were now crumbling down. Derek finally settled the divorce just 11 days after the deposition because he had no choice left. I received 60% of all marital assets plus the full inheritance as my separate property. The DNA test proved he was the biological father all along, which made his actions even more painful. I felt calm, powerful, and free for the first time in many months. Justice had been served completely. My beautiful daughter Ellie was born healthy in July, weighing 7 pounds 4 ounces. She has her father's dark eyes, but my strength and determination. We now live in a lovely new house with a garden in a better neighborhood. My architecture practice is growing successfully with my name proudly on the door. Thomas's generous gift gave us security and new possibilities. I still remember that lonely cold night sleeping in my car in the parking lot. That moment of complete despair became the beginning of my greatest comeback. I learned to know my true worth and never let anyone take it away from me again. Always document everything, find supportive people, and never stay silent. You are always stronger than your enemies think. Derek now sees Ellie according to the official visitation schedule we agreed upon. We keep things civil for the sake of our daughter's happiness and well-being. I had not spoken to his mother Linda since that day in Jess's apartment. I'm fully focused on building a peaceful and beautiful life for me and Ellie. Some chapters are better left closed forever. If you are going through betrayal, pain, or difficult times right now, remember my story. Never forget your own value and strength, even when everything seems lost. Surround yourself with real friends who support you without hesitation. Document every single thing and fight for what belongs to you. You deserve justice and a better life. What would you have done if you were left alone in that cold car that February night? Please tell me your honest thoughts in the comments section below. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs hope today. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. I'll see you in the next powerful video. Stay strong and keep believing.